The Deputy Prime Minister, Ariel Brache, has urged businesses to abide by the law. Otherwise, they will be prosecuted. However, the DP thinks the action is a crackdown on small businesses to benefit Edi Rama and the oligarchs. On September 9th, 9 laws will return to the Assembly for review by the President and will automatically be put on the agenda. A few days ago, the Deputy Interior Minister, Rowena Voda, said the vetting of the state police will start in September. However, it is currently stalled in the review phase of files. It is 6 o'clock on Saturday, the 10th of August, 2019. Good evening, and thank you for tuning in to RTV Aura's English edition. My name is Oliver, bringing you the only daily update of the local Albanian news translated into English. The Albanian government warns all businesses that any failure to act in accordance with the law on tax evasion will face penalties. The Deputy Prime Minister, Ariel Brache, said there would be zero tolerance for any abuse of informalities while urging administrators of some businesses to give up on threats or favoritism. But the Democratic Party leader, Luzin Basha, believes the reason for the informality is due to Edi Rama's government favoring his clients. Due to the enrichment of the oligarchs through the smuggling of fuel and cigarettes, according to DP leader Basha, the state budget collected 25.2 million euros less in the first 6 months of the 2019 year. He stated, "The violence of fines and seizures against small businesses that ensure the survival of most Albanian families is created to rob them of their money and to finance the greed and luxury of Edi Rama and his millionaire clients. He steals the entire state budget with criminal contracts and concessions, stealing Albanian property for oil along the coast, rivers, forests, and public and private lands." The Democratic Party has also accused the majority of incriminating people with its controlled institutions. In the wake of the decision by the United States State Department involving the corruption scandal of Vanjush Dako, the Deputy Prime Minister has issued no answer as to whether or not they will expel the former mayor of Durrës from the Socialist Party leadership. Any allegation made against Mr. Dako and everyone else, including members in the Socialist Party leadership or in other political parties, there will be an investigation and the case will be judged according to the law. No one can avoid investigations and trials. We do not ever intend in interfering into the process between justice authorities and an individual who has a specific allegation against them. Each individual will face these bodies of justice individually, in accordance with the law and in a fair and equitable process. There was a time when immunity was used to escape justice, so today we continue to have a system of impunity at the highest levels of politics. There are still unresolved court cases where the theft of millions and hundreds of millions of euros took place. But not anymore. Everyone has to face it, declared Brache. Moreover, in his declaration, Brache accused Luzin Basha of using any means to escape justice, but suggested that with the establishment of SPOC, there will be no one able to escape the crimes they have committed. Within 30 days, President Ilir Meta has already overthrown the majority 9 times by decree. Reconsideration in the Assembly surrounding PPPs, concessions, issues, the Penal Code, privatization of state-owned enterprises, and local self-government have provoked clashes between institutions led by President Meta and Prime Minister Edi Rama's government. The new regulation, amended by the Socialist Party and supported with votes by the new opposition, has expedited procedures for the reviewing of state-level decrees. At the first meeting of the new parliamentary session, the 9 laws up for reconsideration are automatically included in the Assembly's work calendar, making it easier for the socialists. Under the amended Article number 86, the responsible committee will prepare a report on the decree within 4 weeks of its submission to the Assembly. It will then be passed on to a plenary session, where it will most likely be overturned. With the changes made, the time given for the preparation of the report has been halved. As in the annual regulation, the responsible committee had a deadline of 8 weeks. Members of the Socialist Party have spoken out against the President's Act to call them back to the Assembly. As a consequence of the opposition's stances, the crisis between Ilir Meta and Edi Rama is expected to deepen. But also in the new political session, the majority will have on its list the name proposed by the President for the chairman of the High State Control, Petrac Milo. Although there has been no socialist stance on Milo's name yet, we will know as soon as September whether or not there will be a political reprisal by the majority against the president. The information on the postponement of the vetting process has been provided by the Deputy Interior Minister, Rovena Voda. She said, "I am very sorry that a small country like Albania, which is making a great effort to open the European Union negotiations, has its reputation muddled by the state police, which in September shall undergo vetting. Vetting will start within the high ranks of the state police, and this is the real face of the Albanian state police today." It was officially announced to RTV Ora that the vetting process is currently stalled in the review phase of files and will need some time to finalize the process. Sources say the files are almost ready and the accused subjects are expected to become acquainted with them. They will then begin their first hearing sessions. Meanwhile, law enforcement experts are skeptical of the process. In mid-July, police officers received a form in which they must declare details of their lifestyle, including information on their homes and even equipment and furniture. During the first phase of vetting, 245 high-ranking executives of the police force will go through the process, where it is expected to take about 1 year until its completion. Along the coast of Shëngjin and Velipoja, 10,500 square meters of illegally occupied beach areas have been released, while 9 individuals have been put under investigation, including directors in the municipality of Leja. In the Kune area of Shëngjin, 8,000 square meters of beach have been released, while in Velipoja, 2,500 square meters are now available to beachgoers. A total of 5 individuals were prosecuted, including 2 directors, the Director of Taxation and the Director of Territorial Planning. The proceedings for 5 owners of these illegal entities were conducted for penal offenses such as concealment of income and non-payment of taxes, while for municipal officials, the offense is described as an abuse of duty. Specifically, the Director of Territorial Planning is accused of issuing construction permits in a protected area in violation of the law. Even the Prime Minister, Edi Rama, reacted to these actions, calling the beaches of Shëngjin and Velipoja as 2 of the largest jungles created by the previous government and the chronic incompetence of right-wing municipalities. He said, "Their release from these occupiers continues daily, but their end will come with the new coastline law and the iron hand that comes with it. The state will be able to decide starting next year, and we will finally be able to return the beach to the people." During the operation Release Public Spaces, police have seized 500 umbrellas and just over 25,000 square meters of beach area has been released thus far. Citizens from Kosovo have not only preferred the Albanian coast for their summer vacation, but also for the celebration of Eid al-Adha. This morning saw a huge influx of Kosovo residents arriving at the Morena border. A total of 2,463 vehicles carrying 12,486 citizens. As a result, the border crossing experienced extremely long queues. Meanwhile, the Morena Border Police has set up an additional customs beam operating under accelerated procedures. This same influx of residents is now making their way back to Kosovo. Authorities at the border point say that in the next few days, they are expecting to see an even higher influx of Kosovar residents entering into Albania. An increasing number of immigrants as well as foreign tourists are making their way to the port of Vlora. 9,500 people have arrived by ferry in Vlora in just the first 10 days of August. In an effort to avoid long queues at the port, 10 custom counters have been opened, ahead of expectations for increased migrant arrivals. In comparison to a year ago, the number of immigrants coming to Albania is higher. Port authorities have confirmed that during the month of July, the flow of immigrants has increased by about 10% since a year ago. Citizens complain that they have been forced to wait in Brindisi, while in the port of Vlora, they have not experienced any queues. In just the last 2 days, the influx into the port has increased, while this morning there were around 800 people arriving by ferry on the Vlora-Brindisi transit line. And that's the news across the country today. Thank you so much for watching our English edition this evening, and be sure to join us again every Monday to Saturday at 6 p.m. for the latest news from Albania. Once again, on behalf of RTV Ora, thank you and have a good weekend.